What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching Car Inside. It's a new week on iRacing. C-Fixed heads to Dover, and it's time for another qualifying breakdown. I figured I would do something a little different this week. We got a lap here in front of us, 23.019. It's my fastest lap so far, and I found something coming off of 4 that I think could help my hot lap and maybe top it just a little. Gotten comfortable with a 14-to-1 steering ratio, so that's what we're going to be running this with. As you can see, the wheel going straight at center is at 0, the offset is, so that's what we're doing. Lap 1, we're just getting some heat in the tires, kind of taking it easy. And what we're going to do, set up our hot lap, is coming through turn number 3 here, aiming for this shadow that's across the line, across the track. We're going to lift, aim for the Dover 3, throttle up, and turn down the banking. Free speed, free lap time. And sure enough, it's going to be just barely faster, but entered in a little bit higher through 3 and 4 there, and didn't so much diamond the corner like we did in 1 and 2. It's just something that I'd done in the past that kind of come back to my mind, and remembered, hey, you know, this track is shaped identical at both ends, but it is different. The way that the line is and the way you approach each corner is a little different here on one end versus the other. So we'll go back and we'll break down that lap, but that was real time. As you can see, I really experimented here. I was about lap number 40 and I started figuring it out, but lap 40 or hot lap, 14-to-1 steering ratio, no offset, brake bias 60, that doesn't really matter. Later on in the race you may use a little brake, but here the track is so fast that the truck really rotates good. You're going to be going so fast here that early on, just to keep pace, you're not going to be using any brake. You're going to be driving it in really deep. And it's all going to be more so about line and throttle control this week. It's one of my favorite places. I love running this. Love running this track. It's probably in my top 10 for racetracks, but brake bias isn't going to matter very much. Coming into our hot lap, like I said, aim at this shadow. Going to be running high. Sorry, I got a little scatterbrained there and dropped the ball on my speech. So I was trying to reach for some settings and stuff here on this and turning the camera off and everything. But nonetheless, we'll break down that lap that you just seen and try to get over this little awkward phase. But coming into turn number 3, wow, we're still stuttering over, skipping over words. Aim this shadow. Going to be lifting fully out of it. Aim for the Dover 3. And there we're just going to pick up the throttle and just start turning down the track. And we're going to aim for the apron here. Don't want to clip the apron. Get as close to it as we can as you get to this restart zone. And it's just free speed, free lap time that you get up off the corners. You can see how green my ticker was there. Going into turn number 1, you can see this. I think that's a bush bean sign. Actually, it's not a bush bean sign. Whatever the sign, this blue and yellow sign here on the infield wall, that's going to be our reference point to kind of lift between there and the end of pit road. We're going to lift out of the throttle about halfway, and we're going to aim for the apron. It's going to be a diamond when we go through turns 1 and 2. So you're going to aim your right side, left sides are going to be down very close to the apron, but you don't want to get too close. Let's see here if we can find it. Far chase, and then we're going to diamond the corner, work our way up, so the right sides are going to be kind of at that first seam there, but just enough. It's kind of going to be one of those things where you turn down, let the truck wash up just a little so you can throttle up and turn back down again to power off of turn number 2. So the truck's going to come up a little there. And we were picking the throttle up, full throttle around the monster mile sign between there and the general tire. We were picking it up at the monster mile sign there. Back down as close as you can, but you don't want to get right on the apron. And you're going to drive up off, and you can watch my wheel in live time and see my hands and how I was fighting the wheel. If you want to run a fast lap here, you are going to be fighting the wheel coming up off of 2, a little more so than you are coming up off of turn number 4. 4 seems tighter, 2 seems looser. That's just my opinion there. But coming into turn number 3, the shadow is going to be our reference point again, just like it was setting up our hot lap coming into turn number 3. Using the shadow again to be the point where we lift. We're not fully lifting. We didn't fully lift in turn number 3, just kind of modulating the throttle there, backing it off to about 25%. Aiming down, not all the way to the bottom. Now, that was something different with turn number 1. We aimed at the apron. This time, we're not going to be as close to the apron as we were. Maybe twice as much, which isn't very much, but it's just enough to make a difference. You can see there I topped my hot lap from before. But the truck, you're not really going to diamond the corner. You're going to hold that same exact line, entering in higher, keeping these right sides right on that seam there where that grip is, and you're not going to actually wash up the track any. You're going to hold that line and hold that throttle there. Then when you punch the gas, you're actually going to be aiming back down as hard as you can, as close as you can get to the apron. And you can see there we are directly on the apron. So we come down and then back up off, and it doesn't push. It pushes a little more so than what it does try to step around, like on turn number 2 it's trying to step around, and here it's a strong push. And we actually, the way we exited here, we had a lot more room. I probably could have stepped on the throttle just a tad bit sooner. We come up off the corner there, and that is our hot lap. It is a 23.014. But for the race, most likely I'll be qualifying. Well, I know I'll be qualifying with a 14-1, and I would say that a 16-1 will probably be what I go with for race trim. We will definitely try that first off. I think that's what I've always ran with in the past. I love Dover. I've had a lot of success. Here and got a couple wins in opens, but I've never got a fixed win here. I've got a lot of runner-ups, much like Iowa. So hopefully we can go into this week and change that, get us a W here, and finally get that little monkey off of our back. I haven't actually took the time to sit and count how many runner-ups I have at Dover, because I don't think it was anywhere near as many as I had at Iowa and went on about there. But we do not have a C fixed win here. We've got a couple, like I said, a couple C opens, but no fixed win to go off of. So a lot of runner-ups. A lot of poles, just can't seem to quite put it all together whenever it comes time for the race itself. So maybe we can change that this week. Feel like I'm a lot better of a driver than I was in the past whenever we were here. So just keep improving upon our finishes, and just biggest thing, really tight track. Try to survive, be there at the end, and actually have a shot at winning this thing. Appreciate you guys watching Car Inside here. You guys are great, and all the support that I get and all the views and the likes. Hitting that like button is the best way to support Car Inside, and if you haven't already, hitting that subscribe button, that goes a long way. We're on the road to 1,000. We're trying to hit 800 this week. I think we can reach that goal, so help me out. If you have already hit that subscribe button, tell a friend about us, and appreciate you guys and everything you do here, and we'll see you out on the track.